Do, 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 do. La, 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 la. Oh, we've got a few people here. Wow, didn't expect people so early on. Hey, well, Maxter, you've just read my mind. I've had a really busy day. Very busy day. I'm absolutely shot, if I'm being honest. But I've put off restringing this guitar up until now. I cannot put it off any longer. And so it's not going to be the most interesting catch up because that's pretty much all I'm going to be doing. But having said that, you could always ask me a few questions or something like that. And maybe I can help you in that way. Or you can ask me about tuning or about strings or something kind of, you know, something guitar changing strings related. That would be good. Hey, we've got quite a few people here. That's cool. One thing I've forgotten are the strings, and I'm going to need those. So hang on a minute. Yes, the grand restringing. So yeah, as I say, I'm just going to put some new strings on this beauty of a guitar. Now, ordinarily, I'm not going to get too tied up in this camera business because I really need to crack on, but I will be looking at the screen from time to time. Great to see you all, Preston, Mick, Stuart, Vince, Ernie. The guitar is being restrung, so you've come at the right time. So, funnily enough, I was talking with Ernie about this yesterday, about all the different types of strings and things like that. And you should always explore, try out all the different strings, and you know, that way you'll know what sounds right to you. Because just because something will sound good for me doesn't mean it'll sound great for you. Anyways, I normally play with extra light strings because I can play the guitar for a lot longer if I do that. But given that this is a dreadnought, it wouldn't really do it justice to put extra lights on it. It'd still sound great, but I'm going to go with some lights I've got here, and that's those, okay? So if anybody's interested in what I use, they're Elixir Nano Web, and the process is starting now. Okay. Hey Steve, great to see you. Right, so I haven't restrung this guitar before, which doesn't matter too much. You know, if you've done one, you've done them all, as it were, but you never know. You might be in for a few surprises. Great to have one of these little things. It makes the job quicker, a whole lot quicker. Right, so let's get these off. Okay, now once you've done this quite a few times, you get really quite quick at it. Obviously I'm talking, so my kind of concentration isn't fully on it, but you get the idea. Okay, holding the guitar with my knees. Sometimes when you do this, the nut can pop out, or even the bridge, you know, the bridge bit can pop out. So be prepared for these things. It doesn't really mean anything. Sometimes when you've had work done on a guitar, the nut remains loose, but once you put the strings on, it's easy to get it back in place and everything. Hey Daniela, haven't seen you for a while. Just changing my strings and showing everybody, well, trying to give some idea how to go about it. Let's have a little drink of this. No, it's not vodka, it's water. Right, now we go down this end. Hopefully you can see this, and that's good because they're just pulling out. So that's very good, makes it all quicker. Sometimes you have to get, you know, you got to be careful how you pull these pins out. Usually what I like to do is go from the inside of the guitar. If you've got one that's a little bit stubborn, you can usually push it out like that. So I'll give all the others a little push. I think these are bridge pins that Ernie might have put in. They're really nice ones. This one's a bit stubborn. Got it. So that's them out. Pop them somewhere safe. Come up this end again. Nothing's falling out. And we've got a bone nut on here, which is great. So that's them off. Those off. Rattly, rattly. It's always nice to get a new set of strings on a guitar. Don't want to jangle them too much on this old body. Just lay that down there. Get all this lot together. Hope you're all having a nice Saturday evening. Things are going well. Right, okay, just get these ready for the bin. Some people might boil them. I'm not sure I'd kind of got to that stage yet. Once they're gone, they're gone. Right, that's the old ones off. Now, what I sometimes do at this stage is just have a little bit of a look at it and things, just to check. Good chance to give it a little bit of a dust around the bridge area and things like that. Although this was just, you know, really clean when it turned up, so there's no real need to do that. The whole guitar's kind of spotless. Real nice. I've got a few little things here I was talking about the other day. This is Kaiser string cleaner. This is really good, but not on coated strings. So that's quite a good product. And then I've been using these kind of, I think, Jim Dunlop polishes and things. I think that's just a general polish, but as I say, I'm not going to bother because the guitar is so clean. And then we have some lemon oil. Sometimes I put a little dab of this on, but I mean, it really is just the tiniest amount, because I'm sure it probably doesn't need it, but just a little tiny bit won't do any harm. Just a quick rub up and down. It's kind of nice. It's done a lot of miles, this guitar, and so it's been very well cared for, and I want to carry on that tradition. Just give a little rub in. Okay. I did tell you it wasn't going to be the most interesting video, but I just thought it was a quick chance to catch up. Right, okay, so we've got the guitar all clean, as it was anyway, all the old strings off. And now it's on with the new ones. So, let's see if we can sort that out. Right. Now, I've never felt it's particularly important the order at which you put the strings on. Some other people might have other ideas, but I just do it, you know. The only thing I would say is that if this nut is loose, which this isn't, but on my Eric Clapton model it is, sometimes if you've got that happening, then it is actually a good idea to put the 1st and the 6th on, and then that way the nut doesn't keep flying off, if you get my drift. Right, so there comes number 1. Give that a pull, lay it down. In fact, no, just here so you can see a little bit. I always get these holes pointing, and my eyes, I should have my glasses actually, but let me just see. Can't even see that. The sun is my excuse today. So anyway, what I was saying is that I tend to get the hole pointing at kind of 10 to, if you're looking at it from the top, or 20 past going downwards. So that's where I go for. And then I pull it through, and I kind of like a few winds, so I don't know if you can kind of see that. No, the lighting isn't great, so I'm actually leaving quite a bit there, but that's fine. I'd rather do a few winds, as I say, and then it's just as simple as A, B, C. Yeah. So I should get a kind of double wind on that. Maybe even a kind of treble. Have a little look. Just checking things out here. Because what I like to do is go under the string and over the string. Difficult to kind of explain. And at this stage, you're just looking to kind of get them fairly loose. Pliers, just normal, sorry, cutters, wire cutters. Should be showing you this really, I suppose. Okay, so just so to keep them out of the way whilst you're, you know, putting the other strings on. It just helps keep them out of the way. Yeah, Erin, my YouTube payments are in dollars and my hands are tied with all that kind of stuff. You know, they don't really give me much of an option when it comes to whether it's dollars or pounds. And I think there was some new kind of tax that Patreon had to add as well, which I'm not happy about. But again, I did like put a notification on Patreon talking about this, so you might like to have a check of that if you're wondering what that is. Okay, so that's the first one in. Obviously, if I wasn't doing the video, I'd be going a little bit quicker than this, but and obviously now you're going to have to watch it 6 times or not. So remember, we're looking at 10 past and 20 past. Oh my goodness me, my eyes. Yep. Okay. Now, funnily enough, at this stage, I generally use my fingers rather than this, but this does speed it up somewhat. So let's kind of do this. But I don't like to go as fast as when I'm taking them off, because I'm controlling where the string is going, i.e. whether it goes front or back. Hopefully you all know what I'm talking about and you've changed strings before. If you have any questions, I'll answer them in between if I can. So that's the A string on. Same kind of distance. Off with that. Whoops. And on with the next one. So once you've been doing this for years and years, you can really do it quite quickly. When it does become a problem is when you're doing a gig and you have a string go. That is kind of problematic. Oops, a daisy. Sorry, Annie. Yeah, when you break a string doing a gig, it's kind of that is a challenge. But you know, you can only change it so quick, so you've just got to kind of not panic and get on with it. To be honest, in a duo situation, I wouldn't, if a string went, I'd just carry on playing. But in a band situation, we used to kind of change them, because if you've got 2 guitarists and one drops out, you can kind of do that. Is everybody gone? Am I on my own? I think it might be. Yeah, I'd like to see that one, Max, there. I haven't seen that, I don't think. All right. So that's front. Unfortunately, I can't be doing all the camera kind of dead close up and everything like that. It's a bit of a pain. I'm hoping that you've kind of got some ideas on tuning and stuff like that. Seems like everybody's gone. Although I can't say I blame them. Still here. Hey, Super Ring of Fire. I'll put it in the Facebook group. Nice one, Max. Yeah, that's a good idea. So how are we all doing anyway? I should be asking you a few questions. What have you been doing on the guitar? I'd like to hear a little bit about that. Okay, so this is a D35 rod, yeah? Mesmerised. Why are you mesmerised, Mick? Wow, that looks thin. I'm a bit slow on this tonight, I'm afraid. I think the day's work is taking its toll on me. Right, number 4. Okay, remember what we were saying. Now when we're on this side, it becomes 10 past. So when we're looking at the guitar this way, the angle is 10 past and 22. So it changes. Hope you can make sense of that. Off with that one. My one has changed too. I've got Martin. Sorry, I missed a few there. Send some sun down to Stylebridge, Joe. I wish I could. Honestly, it's been gorgeous out there today. Working on One by U2, Vince. Great song. It's in fact, it's my most viewed video on YouTube, One by U2. I always wince when I tighten a string up just in case it snaps. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've done that plenty of time. Rupesh, just have learned Romeo and Juliet. Wow, I'm impressed, Rupesh. Still with me, Preston. Good to hear. I'm not on my own. I will kind of take little kind of looks at the screen. Obviously, you've taken the time to join me for this rather boring job, but it is also a chance to say hello. Never change the strings on my guitar, only when I broke one. How often are you meant to change? Daniela, I'm surprised. It depends how much you play, really. Because I play a lot, these Alexa strings last a long time. Ordinarily, a set of strings would last me about, if I'm gigging and playing out a lot, I'd change them every kind of 3 weeks to 4 weeks. But these Alexas last twice as long as that, to my ears anyway. But there's lots of good makes of strings, which is why I say I reviewed some of those guitars mentioned yesterday. Between 5 guitars, Sigma came in. I play every day for a couple of hours. Well, you should, if they sound okay to you, then that's fine. It's just I like the sound. Somebody mentioned before about having the strings, leaving them because he liked the sound of older strings, and that's a fair point as well. That's a great point. I know what he means, because sometimes when you put a new set of strings on, they can just be a little bit too vibrant, you know. So it's not until you've played them in and it's settled in a little bit that you really start to get it, you know. Whoops, a daisy. That'll do. Like I say, we're not looking for anything accurate at this stage. The guitar will take time to settle in. Sometimes it can take quite a while depending on the climate and stuff like that. And now for the last one. I love changing strings, very therapeutic. Hey Sal, great to see you. Dave, the only strings I use, okay. Can't stop drinking today. Okay, now for the last one. So, in it goes. In with the peg, little pull. Get it right up in that peg so it doesn't start jumping out. 10 past on the peg, which is about there. can't believe how bad my eyes are getting. It's embarrassing. It's terrible. Old age, eh? Right, she's on her way. Now, we're not too far off. I tend to take them all off, Vincent, and then put them all on. But I don't know that there's any right or wrong way. Find your own way. That's what I often say. Experiment. Alright, now these are going to jump about. That's not unusual. There can be lots of different reasons for that. Alright, so I can remember being very scared of the strings, thinking, wow, if I turn it just a fraction too much, they're just going to snap. Right, so they're all on. Not in tune, but all on. And so it's always good to just put them on loose to start with. And then I'm trying to be tidy and keep it all together. I haven't got junk everywhere, so they can go back in there, like so. Can go in there, and these can go in there. As Ernie says, it's a really therapeutic job changing your strings, and well worth doing periodically, because, you know, the guitar can sound like almost like a different guitar sometimes once you put new strings on, especially if you haven't put them on or ever put them on, like some people out there. Tried a Strat of John Pierce. Funny you should say that. Very funny you should say that, Preston, because Ernie and I were talking about that yesterday. I've got to try those John Pierce. I've heard a lot of good things about them via many people, and it's one of the few brands that I haven't tried. Right, so we got all the old stuff there, all the tools there, all the sprays finished with. Didn't actually use some of those. Pop those over there. So, how's your practicing been going? Hopefully you've been able to do a little bit of practicing. It's always fun. I couldn't put this thing down last night. It was just difficult. I'm not used to the big body size. I know that much. Alright, let's have a little look at this. Okay, so you can probably hear this slipping. So what I'm going to do now is just let it do all that snapping stuff, right? Sometimes the bridge pins try and jump out a little bit, so you can just pop them back in as they're, you know, because we're obviously increasing the tension. So at this stage, I'm just looking to tighten them all up rather than go through them from top to bottom. Then it's kind of spaced a bit evenly then. Interesting thing I've noticed about this, because as I say, I haven't really played a whole lot of Dreadnought guitar. My brother lent me his, and you'll see that used on a few of my videos. Leon Redbone videos, I think I did. I might have done a Beatles one as well, In My Life or something like that. And that was a Dreadnought, and what a different sound they give. You know, what you really notice when you're playing the Dreadnought is that the bass is so nice. You know, obviously if it's a kind of reasonably nice guitar, it really brings that to the table, you know, whereas it's very, very different to the Clapton guitar. I don't like to say kind of better and worse and all that kind of stuff. Different tools for different jobs. and they all have the merits, you know. That's the way to look at it. But what we were saying last night, if you didn't catch the show, was the Dreadnought's a great all-rounder. Yeah, it really is. Do quality of strings make a difference? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they do make a difference. Really cheap strings, they're always going to sound, you know, not too bad, but I think there's a lot of similarity as well. And there's a difference between coated and non-coated and the different materials, like just bronze and then phosphor bronze mix and things like that. But I see all those kind of changes as kind of, they were almost things I figured out way back on my guitar journey, you know. Of course, you try all the new brands that kind of evolve as you play. And hold on, it's switching itself off. Let's have a little look here. Buzz Bagley, I learned Joan Jett. I love rock and roll this morning. Fantastic, Vincent. Johnny Cash like the D35. That's right. Palmer sent me a video last night of the 50-year anniversary, I think it was, of the D35, which is a YouTube video. I think it's done by Chris Martin, you know, the CEO of Martin, out there on YouTube. I'm sure if you just kind of type in, don't go, don't snap. I still kind of cringe when I do this E string. That's it, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Okay, good. We're on the road. Now we're looking to get it out, slowing this process down a little bit so you can kind of maybe just get a few little tips along the way. So what I'm trying to do is just gradually get closer and closer. I'm not aiming to get spot on at this stage, because by the time I've done this, it will have dropped again. So yeah, like I say, we're getting in the kind of ballpark now. Sorry about this, it's probably not the most interesting thing, but it's good to have your company and maybe pass on a couple of, at this stage, you know, obviously you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just inching it up. You're probably thinking, why is he making such a meal of this? It's just a ritual, changing your strings and tuning up for the first time. Okay, so we're close now. Time for another drink. Wow, this is thirsty work. Okay, so let's have a little look now at this stage. I like to tune pitch and give them a little stretch. That's a good pointer. So some people kind of do this. It kind of, it stretches them, stops them sometimes just jumping and settles them in a little bit quicker. So well pointed out, Max, there. It's not something that I always do, actually. Yeah, well, some people prefer the parlor size because it's more kind of, it's going to take some getting used to this, but I'm quite happy to get used to it, I have to say. Okay. She's getting close. You can probably hear that. Thinking, thank God for that. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? See, that's the thing with this. You've got to sit properly when you play one of these guitars, and that's going to mean different things. Now, it still doesn't sound totally right to me, that. She stays in pretty good. Too far out there. I must do my nails, they're getting long. You can always, this is an interesting point actually, I've been finding lately they're just getting, the light isn't great here, hold on. Now I don't know if you're kind of finger pickers or plectrum players, let me see what I've got here. But what I've noticed is the actual length of your nails and stuff like that really makes a big difference. I should have been bearing all that in mind. So I find, and that's on both hands as well, it's surprising how if you don't keep the left hand, if you're right-handed, if you don't keep those left hand nails kind of trimmed, what can happen is the nail touches the fret before the actual skin does. So that's to be avoided, you know. When you get that kind of right, you'll find that your fingers fit just nicely and always fret the string very well, you know. So that's another thing to bear in mind. It's got a lovely sound just on the... Got a lovely sound, no doubt about that. I did have a listen back to it last night, by the way, Ernie. She sounds real special coming through here. I was actually surprised. Hey, David, good to see you. I don't know if we've still got people here at the moment, have we? We've got a few people, yeah? So those kind of big strummy things are always going to sound pretty good on guitars like this. So as you can hear, it's very, very full sound. I don't know what it's kind of coming out like there, you know. So you got all those kind of it's going to mean I'm going to have to do a bit more practice on my Johnny Cash. I used to know a few Johnny Cash things as well. I don't know, but anyway, it makes me want to practice all that stuff, that's for sure. Because Johnny Cash is good, fantastic artist, done so much great music. I did do the I hurt myself today to see if I still hurt the needle makes a hole. The only thing, lovely sound. Everyone goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire girl, and you could have yeah, nice song for sure. You know, great one to try out. I've done a lesson on that one for anybody who's interested. I was actually thinking of redoing some of the lessons, some of my early lessons. I was listening back to them quite a while back. Yeah, it's a great song, Simro, for sure. Yeah, very emotional song. I haven't got my harmonica master. Searching for a heart, getting old, yeah. Keeps me searching for a heart, and getting old, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's quite a nice one, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know, I can't remember them all, Gregory. This is the problem. It can be a little bit. Talk me through it. It would be a good exercise to test out how well some of you guys know my songs. So, Gregory, what are the chords for one? Can you remember that? Got someone to blame. You said one life, and it's one me in the night. One love, get to share it. Leaves you carefree. So on and so forth, yeah, something along those lines, I think, yeah. Not a bad song. So, yeah, made for it. It sure is, Preston. I think it sounds real great on some of these kind of songs for sure. Yeah, it sounds real lovely. I never had any doubt it was going to be great for all that kind of stuff. I'm not really up to my fingerstyle tonight. It's going to be great for a lot of blues too, you know. You got a lot of kind of people like Reverend Gary Davis. I'm learning a piece of his at the moment. It really is actually quite a challenge. It's I certainly can't play it very well, but I'm looking forward to working on some of the old classics that I really do like blues wise. There's some, you know, some of those players like Reverend Gary Davis and Mississippi John Hurt. So many of them, even you know the Lightning Hopkins kind of stuff works great on these guitars. I'm going to Louisiana, gonna give me Mojo hand. I'm going to Louisiana, give me Mojo hand. I'm gonna fix my old lady so she can't have no other man. Yeah, it's going to be great fun once I get myself sorted on this. So one thing I've learnt on here, it's not a guitar for the sofa. I'm going to have to get my stool out for this and it'll be dead comfy. It'll be absolutely great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed that one, Flower Power, because I know you like a bit of the old... you like a little bit of that as well, don't you? No, what I was going to ask you is how good is your hearing? Do you think she's out of tune now? Or do you think she's still going good? Be interesting to have some feedback. I know what I think. Is she still in tune or has she drifted out? Okay, let's have a look. Have a peep. I think you're right though, Sal. I know that's out for a start off. Oh, it's all probably dropped a little, yeah. Perfectly acceptable. Settling in now. Settling in quite nice. It's going to be... them. Right, so better do a little something for Daniela, because I haven't done that in quite a while. See if you know this one, right? There we go. It's going to be great for all that kind of stuff, you know. It's this is the kind of stuff I've been wanting to do. Hopefully, Annie's going to hear a little bit of this as well, which will be great, because I really do think you sound pretty good, Daniela. You just need to keep with it. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're really, really good. So, you know, you'd be doing that kind of stuff if you keep doing the type of thing you do. Try and listen to how you feel you can improve things, and, you know, you'll definitely get there, but just enjoy the journey. There's no doubt about that. You will get there. Hey, Patrice, I'm glad you're with us tonight. Okay, so I started kind of, I like that one, Annie, that's good. Started writing the song last night. Just the chords. Sometimes the lyric will come first, and sometimes the chords will come first. Generally with me, it tends to be the music that comes first, and then the words that come later. I wish they came together, because it would save a lot of time. But I could see how this guitar was really going to inspire me to write a little bit more, write some more songs as well, you know. So we got so I kind of, I did write it down. I'm trying to, it'd be great to see if I could remember it though, because that's always a good sign. If you come up with something and you play it for a little while and you're into writing songs and doing that kind of thing, then it's good to just play it for a while and see if it sticks. And then, you know, obviously going to put your guitar down at some point, and then if the following day you can really remember it very well, it's a good sign. It's a good sign that it's probably a good song or a good melody or whatever it is. So let's see how much of this I can remember, and see if it was just rubbish or it was actually worthwhile remembering. It seemed like it was worthwhile at the time. So, you know, there is the kind of, you know, there is something there. There's something that, even with something as simple as that, you could probably wrap a song around that, you know what I mean? There's enough. So you got a little kind of versey thing here. Once you play it a while, it all gets smoother and fine-tuned. Start emphasizing different notes and things. So you've just kind of heard the, you know, you heard it here first. So when I release that as a single, you'll say, I remember when Joe played that, and I thought it was awful then as well. Nice thing about this as well is you get a kind of, obviously, something well worth doing when you're playing guitar is try and alternate tonally. So if you come up the neck a little bit, you're going to have a real nice gentle soft tone, and you come back down here, it's going to be quite hard, you know. So if you want to kind of you get that kind of hard sound, but then, you know, on the other hand, you can have this kind of nice. Yeah, so you know, you got all those different kind of tones you can play around with as well, which is really cool. Let me just grab something here I've been meaning to do. So yeah, like I say, this is going to make me practice a whole lot of stuff that I haven't played in quite a while. So I'm really looking forward to bringing you some new lessons, which are going to be a real pleasure for me to do, and hopefully you're going to enjoy them as well. You probably know who my big kind of inspirational people are, musically speaking. I've covered a lot of them more than others on my lessons over on Patreon and also on YouTube as well. So you got the old Clapton things, you know. I think the Unplugged album was such a great album. If you're a blues person and you like all that kind of stuff, yeah, you know, it's a great album. I think it did a lot for blues music as well. So I've covered so many of those. One of the kind of ones which is going down very well off that one. In fact, they've all done very well over on YouTube. I think all of those videos pretty much is Alberta. You know, I think I'm working my way through the album. I think there's 4 or 5 I haven't done. There might be a few more actually. No, I'm waiting by your side. You've been running, hiding much too long. You know it's just your foolish pride. Layla, you got me on my knees with love, begging darling, please with love. Darling, got me on my knees with her. I'm begging, darling, please with her. Darling, won't you ease my worried mind? Yeah, and then unfortunately I can't do these. I haven't even tried it on here. Where are we? Crikey. My goodness. Really lost the plot there. She's going to take a little bit of getting used to, I know that's for sure, but I'm liking what I hear. I'm liking what I hear. Really. So when you're using plectrums for kind of solo and rhythm, you need to get that choice right. It's really important to get that right. Hi Julie, great to see you. I did mean to text you actually, Julie, but didn't get round to it. You'll have to tell me off later. That's probably, there are some difficult bits in this, but I was really pleased to hear that you know, a lot of people are having fun with this one after I did the lesson. It's great. Don't know why that's slowing me down here. Right, I love it. So you're getting to see me practice tonight, which is great, you know, because I think sometimes, you know, people may watch it and think, wow, you know, but obviously behind all of that stuff, I do an awful lot of work just practicing. And this is why I'm always kind of constantly telling you that you can do all this stuff. It's just about how much you want to put into it, really. If you want to kind of, the more hours you clock up, you know, the quicker it's all going to happen. But you really need to kind of enjoy what you're doing, you know? That's the important thing. This is a great tune. Unfortunately, I can't play it through for you because it's been years since I played it, but I was kind of messing about with it last night and I thought that's one I've definitely got to relearn. It's actually Big Bill Broonzy I saw playing this, and it's one of the only songs I've ever seen him use a plectrum, and I can see why. So you might have to just put up with me for a few minutes practicing it because I just like practicing it so much. This other bit where it goes. Something along those lines. Yeah, it's very kind of dueling banjos type of sound, but it's a lovely little song. that kind of bit, I can't remember the drop down there. I think it's just. Won't you tell me, pretty mama, why you want your washing done? Won't you tell me, pretty mama, how you want your washing done? Yeah, she's ended up in the right place, I hope, because it's sounding great, absolutely great. I don't know how it's coming across your end, but my end seems fairly okay. What I'm noticing about this actually is that how different, how fractionally different a nut size might be can make such a difference to how you play. So if you just like play one guitar the whole time and then you switch to something a little different, they're the kind of things that take time to adjust to. It's kind of nice because already I'm kind of learning that I need to go a little bit higher on the strings and things like that. Okay, so as it's practiced, try and pace it up. So it's like I was saying last night, the very, very first, most important thing of all is to try and get it in time. That's what's really important. So even if you're playing something like this tempo, let's say, so that's a whole lot better than playing it slightly faster, but all the notes kind of not falling in the right place. So always kind of play it at a tempo that you can manage, and then that should be kind of part of your practice thing, that you start off slow and then try and increase the tempo. So although the object isn't to just play at 100 miles an hour, very often things don't need to be played very fast. So yeah, keep up the practice on that. That was my latest lesson over on Patreon. That's kind of, yeah, Lane Harding, Julie, you were very, very fast off that one. Can't remember the lyrics, unfortunately, to a lot of these. Hard times here, baby. Hard times everywhere I go. Hard times here, baby. Hard times everywhere I go. Something like that, is it? Never one I actually learned, to be honest with you. I must have been the only guy who didn't learn. Right, I've got to go replenish my stocks. I don't even know if there's still anybody here or I'm just playing to myself now. So, just going to get a drink. So, I certainly didn't imagine I was going to be playing this long, that's for sure. Got a good friend who'll stay right by your side. When you got a good friend that will stay right by your side. Give her all your loving, love and treat her right. I mistreated my baby, can't see no reason why. I mistreated my baby, can't see no reason why. She's a brown-skinned woman, sweet as any girlfriend can be. Wrong, that could be right. should be more of a sure is. It can be a number of songs, that one, Jake. I think that's Jake, isn't it? Or no, Patrice, sorry. There's a few of those Robert Johnson ones which are all in those similar kind of keys. Yeah, I mean, as you say, Sweet Home Chicago is just kind of very, very similar thing. Hey, baby, don't you wanna go? Slightly different. I said, hey, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? Now, California, my sweet home, Chicago. Well, 1 and 1 is 2, baby. 2 and 2 is 4. I'm a heavy loaded baby, but gotta go. I'm singing, hey. To the land of California, my sweet home Chicago. I'm gonna play now. Something like that anyway, I think. A little bit of Robert Johnson for you. Yeah, I might cover that at some stage soon. I'll play him if you sing him. The lunatic is on the grass. The lunatic is on the grass. Yeah, it's a lovely song, that, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Sure thing, Annie. it's a question of how much of this stuff you can kind of remember, isn't it? A lot of the time. Oh, well, this is a lot longer than what I thought. This is even longer than the Joe Show, folks. Let's have a little check. It's a little bit bad I didn't announce this one. Don't know, I've probably played more. Wanted to do a little thing like this because a lot of people kind of liked, some people like the play along and all that kind of stuff that I do. And then other people I think just like to listen to a few songs and stuff. And so I think that's getting pushed a little bit back on the Joe Show. So it's another reason I wanted to come on and just play a few little bits and pieces for you. And always try and help you in any way if I can. Now, one thing that's notoriously kind of difficult is sometimes, can be I should say, is when you put a capo on, it can really nearly always throw everything out, as you'll go over here now. See, that's Mars out. Yeah, the problem is it throws nearly everything out, which is a problem. Down one time, been down two times, never going back again. So out of practice, unfortunately, but not bad. Not embarrassing myself. Been down one time, been down two times, never going back. Yeah, it's a lovely little song, it has to be said, I guess. I really enjoy playing that one, and it's an absolutely great exercise for your right hand as well as the left being pretty tricky. But on the right hand, it's a really nice little tune to work on. That's the type of song that should, in my opinion, be like one of those things that's a long-term project. The mistake some people make is they'll start out on guitar. I've seen it, comments on this video, I've been playing 2 weeks and I still can't play it. I'm thinking you got a long way to go before you play that if you've only been playing for 2 weeks. But on the same hand, long-term project, break the song down. Just think, right, I'm going to work on the right hand positions, I'm going to work on these left hand positions, and maybe take it like that. You might go a lot further if you do that. It's a possibility. Now that is going to be miles out of tune because I tuned it when the capo was on. So yep, it is one I've done a lesson on. As most of you will know, it's an absolute cracker, that one. It's really nice to actually hit the guitar hard as well, and it really responds so well. You can probably tell that I'm pretty pleased with this guitar. Yeah. It exceeded all my expectations. Okay. Yeah, I've done that, Andrew. Yeah, I've covered that. It is over on my Patreon page. If you haven't checked that out, Andrew, I've done a lesson on this one, A Man of Constant Sorrow. I've been working on Angie by Davy Graham for 20 years now. Well, that's good. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Hit loud, hard, let go, let go. Well said, Joe. Have you graded your lesson for beginners, intermediate and advanced? Unfortunately not really. I should do. It's a very good point. I just haven't really had the time. Check it out. It's over on my Patreon page, Andrew. Great lesson to learn, that one. Good evening, Germany. Hello, Raina. Great to see you. Intro to riffs and turnarounds. Part 4, well said. I think that Patrice, yeah? Well said, yeah. So if you check what Patrice is saying, Andrew, he's pointing you in the right direction. Intro to riffs and turnaround. Number 4. remember the words any, unfortunately. I'll definitely have to do you a Stones number, because there are so many, and I used to play quite a lot of them in the band, but that was so long ago now. We used to do that one, Honky Tonk. We did used to do Under My Thumb, cannot remember where that was, and we also used to do Cross, I Was Born. And the other one, which is kind of nice, is what is it now? I was thinking of doing a version of this for some of the patrons, you know, or even YouTube or whatever, but I think it's got value, this song. I've only been looking at it for 5 minutes, so I certainly don't know it inside out, but it's another one we're trying to adapt it for the acoustic guitar. I'm sure you know what it's trying to be. She got a smile that, it seems to me, reminds me of childhood memories where everything flashes a bright sky. Now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place, and if it stayed too long, probably break down and cry. What is it there? Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet child of mine. What is it there? It used to be, I used to know that. It's no. Where did I play? I played it here. Yeah. Yeah. Something along those lines, I think. Acoustic guitar playing that, but anyway, you get the idea. Out of tune again. You sure can hear that. Settling right in now. Not much dropping and stuff. It's because I loosened off that D. Great to see you. Just a little bit of a kind of surprise one, really. Started out restringing this guitar of Ernie's, and it's gone from there. It's been a full-blown performance. I'm sorry, but you've missed out on quite a bit tonight, but you can always watch it back. There's a lot of stuff happening. Been playing quite a lot of music tonight, just to give everybody a chance to watch some of the songs that I'm playing and trying out this new guitar, obviously running through some stuff there. It seems to me a bright new sky. Now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place. And if I'd stayed too long, probably break down and cry. Oh, sweet child of mine. Oh, yeah, so we've been doing a bit of this. All that kind of stuff, as well as a little bit of your favourite. Well, it's been a great hour or even two. I don't know how long I've been here doing all this stuff, but I'm absolutely over the moon with this guitar. Really, really pleased with it, as you can probably tell. I've even not even had anything to eat, and it's way past dinner time. So that's how much I like it. Now, I'm just going to have to switch something on, and I'll be back. All the leaves are brown. Oh, there are still people here. A few people still here. You can It's been good to catch up for a little while here tonight. Just wanted to check something out here. La da 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 dee. I am here, folks. But I am going to have to go soon. I'm getting hungry. Very, very hungry. What's that there? No, it's... Can't see a thing in here now. Wonder if we can have a little bit of light, maybe. Oh, jeez, that's not good, is it? I think I'm going to have to move camp here. Leave all that there. Moving camp. Just looking through some of my old what's that there? Don't get that. So you got, I'm sure you know what this is. You have sunshine on the Isle of Wight, grey on the East Yorkshire coast. Wow, yeah, I heard it's been a pretty awful day around the country and stuff. I've been pretty lucky here. It's been really, really warm. Just looking at some songs I'm going to have to relearn, I think. Really nice songs. Walking to a church, that's not the right way. Well, I got down on my knees and I began to pray. You know the preacher has a preacher. Lovely song. I'm surprised you do know what that is, don't you, folks? You're all having a little bit of a chat amongst yourselves, aren't you? Crazy mama, where you been so long? Crazy mama. See you, Rod. That's a nice song. Some of these songs I haven't played for ages. Absolutely ages. I'm going to be going shortly, folks, because I think my battery is going to run out very soon. But it's been great catching up with you all. Don't wait. Don't wait for good times to come. Grab my ear on the road. Don't wait. Bye. Please don't ever say you're leaving me. You're going away. Bye. Don't cry, sister, cry. It'll be alright. Don't cry, sister, cry. Don't cry, sister, cry. It'll be alright. Don't cry, sister, cry. Everything will be fine. Yeah. That's major. Don't cry, sister, cry. It'll be alright. Tell you right. Don't cry, sister, cry. Everything will be just fine. It's a nice little song as well. Well, folks, as I say, I think the power, we're going to lose power shortly, so I'm going to call that it. Alright, one more, right? And then I'm going to have to get moving. This is your last one. I'm really close tonight. I feel like I'm moving inside out. Lying in the dark. I'll be waiting when you call, and whenever I fall at your feet, and you let your tears rain down on me, falling from now. Something in the way that you're talking, words don't sound right. I think that I'm beginning to go. I'll be waiting when you call, and whenever I fall your feet, and you let your a slow turn. Okay, there you have it, folks. Great for you to join me tonight. Just a little bit of a one-off thing, so hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of something. I was trying to do a little something for everybody there. And yeah, looking forward to catching up with you next week. Don't forget, next Friday I'm going to be doing a live broadcast with a special guest, and it would be fantastic if you could spread the word even as well. You know, it would be fundamentally great to have all you folks along. But perhaps you could spread the word to a few friends and things like that. I know not everybody's venturing out at the moment and not totally confident about doing so, so it might just be an alternative. Pour yourself a glass of wine. Join us for the gig next Friday. That's going to be 7 p.m. It'd be absolutely fantastic to have you on board. I do hope you'll join me. In the meantime, take care and have a great weekend, yeah? Thanks. I'm just going to say a few goodbyes before I go. So Mickey31, glad you were here. Bristol Blue, Super Ring of Fire, Sal Cook, Julie, my #1 fan, Paul Magson. Who have I forgotten? Susie Wheeler, George James. Okay, have I forgotten anybody? If I haven't said your name, now's the time to type it up there so I can just say a little farewell to you. And I hope I've done this guitar some justice tonight. It's been great to have a play on it with these new strings. Feeling great already. I think I've covered everybody now. Nobody else is putting up a comment, so I hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks, Patrice. You take care. Annie, adios. Great to spend some of the evening with you all, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.